Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. I haven't done a game of this for a while. Somehow my little thing got messed up, so I'm trying to recenter it the way it should be. But I thought this morning would be a good time to jump back into this replay. This is the first game from May the 17th, 1987 that we're going to be playing. And it's the New York, in fact, this is the game of the day for this date. The video of the day, I should say. I will play the other ones offline, but I usually play one game a day on the video, on the stream, I should say. So let's make sure we got everything where I need it to be. Tabby is right here next to me. And of course, can't go morning strat without the coffee. So I got my last cup of coffee. Hello, midlife. Good to see you. Gotta have that. All right, so it is the New York Yankees and the Seattle Mariners from Seattle. And one last thing I got to fill in on these that I want to fill in on the score sheet is the record of the two teams. Yankees are 23-13, and the lowly Mariners 13-23. So 10-game difference right there. But that's why you roll the dice. You never know what's going to happen. All right, we have Mike Moore against Joe Niekro, pitching matchup for these teams, and they're polar opposites as far as holding runners. Mike Moore is a -4 hold, and Valley's a -3 arm for a total of -5. Joe Niekro is a +8 hold, so it really doesn't matter about the -1 from Cerrone. He's still going to be a +5 on the hold. Niekro also has an 18 wild pitch rating, so no balk, but definitely wild pitches are in play. And Mike Moore has 3 and 3 for those factors there. For whatever reason, Ricky Henderson is not starting this game. I don't know if they just wanted to give him the night off or what the story is, but according to the Strat-O-Matic computer, he is on the roster, so he's just on the bench. So we'll figure it out and find out. He certainly will be available to pinch hit and whatnot later on in the game. Just going with generic dice, nothing fancy. Mike Moore, in the real 87 season, was 9-19 with a 471 earned run average. On the replay, 2-4 with a 381 earned run average. So doing a little bit better, I would say. 50 innings pitched, 50 hits, 15 walks, and 27 strikeouts. And since Ricky's getting the night off, Claudell Washington will take over in center field and hit leadoff. On the replay, Claudell is killing it. He's hitting .418 and 67 at bats. Hit .279 real world in 312 at bats. But he's hitting .418 right now, 2 homers and 15 driven in. And Mike Moore is about ready to initiate this first pitch. Hello, Scott. Hello, Kathy. Yes, coffee is mandatory. Have to have it. Whoops, bring it back this way. Maybe you can see it better. There we go. Got to have it. Final cup of the day. Just underway. Mike Moore preparing to throw the first pitch to Claudell Washington. Again, Ricky Henderson is on the bench. He's not injured. He's just not starting. We get a 2-3 for Claudell. Claudell on a 2-3 is a ballpark single check, and it's a 1-5 lefties and righties. That's a 12, so he will line it to second. And we're underway. Good to get back to 1987. I haven't played 1987 in it's been a minute since I played 1987, just to put it that way. It has been a minute. So, let me get this straight here and make sure we get that line out to second recorded. And we do. So, batting second will be second baseman Willie Randolph. On the replay, he's hitting an even 300. No homers, 15 driven in. Real world, he had 305. So, he's kind of pretty much right in line where he should be. 4-9 for Moore. That's a 1-16 single. That's a 15, so it just fits. And Willie Randolph gets himself a single. Again, it's a -5 hold for Mike Moore, so -7 when you factor in the hold. So it'd be a 1-12, but he's still going to try it. I like to try to get the lead whenever I can, just to make sure that we represent the stolen bases enough, because I think when you do some of these replays, the stolen base attempts don't come up enough as they should. And if a guy steals 5 bases, gets caught 9 times, you're not going to steal. But how are you ever going to recreate the 9 caught stealings if you don't try? So to me, that's my philosophy. All right, here is Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball. Donnie Baseball on the replay is hitting 297, 5 homers, 23 driven in. He hit 327 real world, so a little bit under where he should be, but there's a long way to go. 6-5, that's a split chance. One's a single, and else he lines to second, and he will line it to Harold Reynolds for out number 2. 2 down for Dan Pasqua, left fielder. Hello, Scooney. Good to see you. Dan Pasqua hitting 229 on the replay. 7 homers, 16 driven in. He hit 233 real world, so not too far off where he should be. All right, more to Pasqua. 6-8, and that's a good number for Pasqua. 1 to 12 is a double. That's an 8, but it's only 2 stars. So even with 2 outs, Randolph cannot score. It will be up to Mr. May, Dave Winfield, to drive him home. But Pasqua did get the double. And now we'll go to Winfield. He's hitting 237 on the replay. 5 homers, 19 driven in. Hit 275 real world. It's a clutch situation. In the clutch for Winfield, he does gain a hit on 11. So Strat has him a slightly positive clutch hitter. Don't know if I agree with that, but that's a 1. So it's possible wild pitch on Mike Moore. His wild pitch rating is a 3. That's a 2. So Devil Die comes up. It's going to be a wild pitch. Randolph will score. Yankees take the lead 1-0. And how about that? Winfield gets let off the hook. He doesn't need to produce because Mike Moore is going to produce for him with a wild pitch. You like that? Dave Valley let it get past him. So now Moore has to regroup. Pasqua's at third, 2 down for Winfield. 6-10, and that's an in-home run chance, 1 to 13. That's a 3. It's gone. Talk bad about Winfield all you want, but there he is, a 2-run home run from Dave Winfield. Look at it again, 6-10 on Mike Moore. And I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see it on Mike Moore's card. There he is, 6-10, 1 to 13 is a home run. That's a 3, and of course Winfield has normal power. So a 2-run shot for Dave Winfield, his 6th of the season. RBIs 20 and 21. And the Yankees lead it 3-0 here in the first inning, top of the first. So Winfield, home run number 6. 3-0 Yankees. Maybe the wild pitch got more distracted. I don't know, but he certainly left a lollipop in there, and Winfield didn't miss it. So that's going to send up Gary Ward, the designated hitter, hitting 218, 2 homers, 14 driven in. 1-9, and he will draw the base on balls. So a 2-out walk to Ward. And now Ward, he needs a 4 to get the lead. Maybe they're thinking that Seattle's distracted, they can take advantage, but he did not get the lead. So that brings up Pags, Mike Pagliarulo. Pagliarulo hitting 241 on the replay, 11 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 234 real world. 3-8, and that's a ground ball to second. That will end the inning. But 3 runs come in for the Yankees here in the top of the first, capped off by a Dave Winfield 2-run homer. And we go to the bottom of the first. It is Yankees 3 and Seattle just now coming to bat. But the Yankees don't have the best pitcher in the world pitching for them today. They got Joe Niekro, who will later go to Minnesota. But he's with the Yankees right now. Combined Yankees and Minnesota in real world, he was 7-13 with a 5.33 earned run average. In the replay, however, for the Yankees, he's 2-0 with a 2.63 earned run average. So he is really pitching above what he did in real world. 27 innings pitched, 21 hits, 11 walks, and 25 strikeouts. John Moses, the leadoff man for Seattle, hitting 226 on the replay, 2 homers, 16 driven in. Boy, my eyes aren't looking at that small screen on Strat-O-Matic on my laptop is from a little bit of a distance is not the best in the world. So gotta look a little closer to make sure I get these numbers right. Ground ball to first. Mattingly will take it all himself, 1 away. Easy first out, and here comes Phil Bradley, the left fielder. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. Phil Bradley hitting 222 on the replay, 4 homers, 11 driven in. He's really underperformed. He hit 297 real world. It's a 5-3, and it's a ground ball first base C, and by my little home brew that I picked up from Tribe Fan. Anytime you get an X or a C to first base, I put it in as a 3-1 put out just so we can get some extra put outs for the pitcher and extra assists for the first baseman. It's not a Strat-O-Matic rule, it's a house rule. You won't find it in the Strat-O-Matic rule book. So, all right, here's Mike Kingery. He's hitting 293, 4 homers, 14 driven in. He hit 290 real world, so he's right on where he should be. 3-3 is going to pop it up to Pagliarulo. And how about that? Niekro, 1-2-3 inning. He is pitching way above what his card should be, or what his card shows. And the Yankees will be to hit again. He's going to continue to put the pressure on the Mariners. Mike Morris didn't get much of a breather, but he comes back out, and he's going to face Rick Cerrone, the catcher, followed by Tollison and Washington. Cerrone on the replay hitting 279, 2 homers, and 10 driven in. 6-6, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout from Mike Moore. Maybe he's settled back in. We'll see. Strikes out Cerrone, and that's going to bring up Wayne Tollison. He's hitting 202 on the replay. 2 homers, 13 driven in. He hit 221 real world. 4-9, switch hitter batting left, and that's a single to center field for Wayne Tollison. Tollison with that -5, so they're not going to try for the lead with that. His chances would not be very good. And the way they're slugging against Mike Moore, you might as well let him stay out there. Hello, Tim. Good to see you. All right, so here is Washington. He lined to second his first time up. 3-3, and he's going to hit a ground ball to third. It's a B, so it's a fielder's choice. It's going to go 5-4 with a force, but now there are 2 outs, and now Claudell Washington has a chance to potentially grab a stolen base. He needs a 6 to get that lead. Only way he gets the lead is on a 6, and he does not get the lead. He will hold, and here's Willie Randolph. Randolph singled and scored his first time up. And that's a 3-3 for Randolph, and he's going to line it right to Presley at third base to end the inning. So a much better inning this time from Mike Moore. We go to the bottom of the second, still 3-0 Yankees. Mr. Winfield, the 2-run homer in the first inning, trying to quiet some of the naysayers out there. And here's Niekro back out. He'll be facing the big guy, Ken Phelps, designated hitter. Ken Phelps on the replay is hitting 217, 6 homers, 19 driven in. He at 259 real world. 6-9, and that is a fly to center, 1 away. This is game 244, by the way, and it's April the 17th is our replay date. So fly to center field. Easy play there. 1 down. And that'll bring up the hound ball, Jim Presley. He's hitting 201 on the replay. 6 homers, 23 driven in. Hit 247 real world. 2-4, and has a ground ball to short. Easy play for Tollison. 2 up and 2 down. And Niekro is pitching very effectively compared to what his numbers should have been, or what his numbers reflect on his card. He's just getting good rolls, I guess. Here's Alvin Davis hitting 305 on the replay. 5 homers, 16 driven in. He at 295 real world. 5-3 left-handed. Fly ball right field X. That's Winfield. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. He's just an E3, so we're trying to avoid the error if you're the Yankees. E3 and a 9 should not be an issue, I wouldn't think. But we will find out. E3, there is no 15, 18, and a 3, but no 9, so good play for Winfield. And Niekro has taken care of the Mariners quite smartly in the first 2 innings. We go to the third, 3-0. Still our score. Tabby's just staring at me as I'm playing this game. I don't know if she knows what to think about all this stuff, but she likes the sound of the tray, I guess, the dice hitting the tray, I guess. New kids on the block. Okay, like I said, it's almost shameful that I even knew that. That's information I should not know. Definitely not. I should not know this information, but somehow it came out. All right. We get ready for the top of the third. Top of the third coming up, it'll be Mattingly, Pasqua, and Winfield. And, whoops. Get my cards out of the way so I don't get them messed up and I got to get another sip of coffee. Last time I usually let my coffee get too cool before I get into the game and forget to drink the coffee, and it gets cold, and then by the 7th inning stretch I got to go nuke it. So anyway, we're going to try some. I'm going to see if I can get Tabby on the thing here. There she is, right there. You can see her sticking her head out over the laptop there. There's Tabby. She's just sitting here on a little perch enjoying herself. She sits on this perch and she loves it. So anyway, enough of that. But that's where she's sitting. Now I got to fix this again. Shouldn't have messed with anything, I guess, because now I'm going to mess up where I'm doing here. Let's see if I can get this back without getting you guys seasick. Come on, get back over here for me. All right, I think that's good right there. I think I can live with that. Hopefully everybody can live with that. All right, so we're ready to go. Don Mattingly, 5'9", left-handed, pops it up to first. And Alvin Davis will take care of it. One down. That'll bring up Dan Pasqua. He doubled and scored his first time up. For 8, left-handed, struck him out. So Mike Moore definitely has settled in a little bit since that first inning. That is his second strikeout of the game. And here is Mr. May, Dave Winfield, a 2-run homer in the first inning, his 6th of the season. 1-9, and now he will fly to center. So it's a 1-2-3 inning by Mike Moore. He has settled in, but he's finding that his team is not giving him any run support as of yet. But there's a long way to go. We're only the bottom of the third. And after all, Joe Niekro is pitching. I don't care how well he's doing his replay. His card still dictates that he's not very good. So here comes Dave Death Valley. Oh, now, Tabby, what are you doing? I think she's leaving now. All right, she's had enough of this for a while. She wants to go do something else. All right, here's Valley, and Valley on the replay is hitting .217, a homer and 5 driven in. 1-8, and that's a ground ball to Tollison at short, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ray Quinones. Speaking of shortstops, he is the Seattle shortstop. And he is hitting .220 on the replay, a homer and 13 driven in. He hit .276 real world. A lot of these Mariners are underperforming, which is why their record is 13-23. They're just getting some bad rolls, I guess. 1-6 is a strikeout. It's another bad roll. First strikeout for Niekro. Guess the knuckleball got him on that one. And here comes Harold Reynolds, our favorite ESPN analyst, or maybe not so favorite ESPN or Baseball Tonight analyst. And he's hitting .241 on the replay. I guess he's on MLB Network now. .241 on the replay, no homer, 6 driven in. 311, and that's going to be a ballpark single check. It's 1-5, and the double die comes up as a 1, so Harold Reynolds gets the base hit. I tell you, I don't care what color double die I got. It's going to be a 1 about 15% of the time. It's supposed to be 5%, but it's documented. If you watch enough of these videos, you know it comes up a 1 way more than it should. So Harold Reynolds will try to get the lead, and that +5 from Niekro looks very tempting. He can probably steal without the lead, but they're going to try to get the lead to start with. 7, he does not get the lead, but there's still a good chance he can go here. 15 without the lead. -4 for being held is an 11, but that +5 makes it a 16, so he's still going to go 1-16. And he steals it even without a good lead just because the pitcher-catcher interface between those two were just so bad. So stolen base for Harold Reynolds. He gets in scoring position with 2 outs. And the order flips over to John Moses. He grounded to Mattingly his first time up. 6-9, switch hitter batting left is a fly to center, and Claudel Washington puts it away, and that'll do it for the Mariners. Through 3 innings, Yankees still lead it 3-0. Three-nothing Yankees. And now we'll go to the top of the fourth with Gary Ward, Mike Pagliarulo, and Rick Cerrone taking on Mike Moore. 4-12, and that's a strikeout for Mike Moore, strikeout number 3, as he puts the K on Rick Cerrone. I'm sorry, on Gary Ward. Not Cerrone. Cerrone hasn't come up yet. Here's Pagliarulo. 6-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. He grounded to second his first time up. He's doing it again. Let's see if Harold Reynolds watched enough baseball tonight to make the play. Harold Reynolds is a 2E21. 2-17, he gets to it. And let's see, it's a 7, and he's an E21. There's no 7 there, so Harold Reynolds was able to successfully negotiate that ground ball. 2 quick outs. And we move on to Rick Cerrone. Cerrone struck out his first chance. 3-10, and this time he gets hit by a pitch. So Mike Moore got one too much inside and plunked him. Cerrone not too happy about it. He'll take first base, and that'll send up Wayne Tollison. Tollison singled his first time up. 3-7, and it's a strikeout, so that's going to end the inning. 4th strikeout from Moore. But that hit by pitch allowed Tollison to bat, so you can lead off with Washington next inning instead of the number 9 hitter. You have your leadoff hitter. So sometimes those little things like that can pay dividends. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. And Niekro will be facing Bradley, Kingery, and Phelps for the Mariners. Bradley, his first time up, grounded Mattingly. 3-4, and he's going to ground to short this time. Wayne Tollison is there. 1 away. And Niekro's got that ground ball working. A lot of ground ball outs in this game. And infield pop-ups and everything else. See, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 10 outs, or that would take away strikeouts. So 6 of the 9 other outs have all gone in the infield. Only 3 flyouts. 2-5 for Kingery. Another ground ball in the infield. This one to Mattingly. He handles it no problem. 2 down. Since it was a B and not a C, it's just a 3 unassisted. It's not a flip to the pitcher kind of thing. Here's Ken Phelps. He flied to center. But I always put 3G here. I just picked it up when I played Diamond Mine baseball back in the day. Their score system used 3G, and so I've been using that instead of 3U for whatever reason. Just stuck with me. In case you're wondering why I didn't put 3U down there or whatever. Just 3G. I picked it up from that. That's ballpark blast for Ken Phelps. How about that? And that's a 17, and that's a 13, and that's gone. Ken Phelps said you can score it any way you want to score it. 3-7 is a ballpark blast. 17, that's a 13. Of course, he has normal power. He had 27 home runs. So Mariners are on the board thanks to a Ken Phelps blast over that big right field wall at the Kingdom. And for Phelps, that is home run number 7, RBI number 20 on the season. And the Mariners are on the board, cuts the lead to 3-1. And that'll bring up the hound dog, Jim Presley. Grounded to short his first time up. 1-4, and that's a ballpark blast. Could it be a back-to-back jack? That's a 17. That's a 2. It's gone. The hound dog takes Joe Niekro to Heartbreak Hotel with back-to-back jacks. And for Presley, that is also home run number 7, RBI number 24. And just like that, it's a 3-2 ball game. Niekro's knucklers is not knuckling. Back-to-back ballpark blast. Look at it again. 1-4. Clear as day. Ballpark blast. 17, and that's a 2. So back-to-back jacks. And that'll send up Alvin Davis. 3-2 ball game. 4-10, and that's a fly to center. That one's not quite as deep. But the Mariners put 2 on the board, and now we got a ball game on our hands. It's 3-2. Yankees still hold on to that lead over Seattle as we go to the 5th. And we go to Claudell, Washington. Yeah, Tribe fan, this is the 1987 ballpark effects right here. And if you go down to Seattle, it's a 1-5 for a single and a 1-17 for a home run. So apparently it was some sort of launching pad. I don't know. Bring it a little closer so you can see it. So I can see it because my eyes are bad. So I think you got to bring it up this way so you can see it. 1-17 for Seattle, lefties and righties. So it is a launching pad in 1987 for whatever reason. Of course, 87 was notorious for home runs. I'm not sure if they had a cork bat thing going on or whether it was steroid thing going on or whatever, but there were a lot of home runs. I mean, look at Andre Dawson. He had 49 of them for Chicago. All right, here is Claudel Washington. 110, and that's a ground ball to short. Quinones makes the play. One away. And the Yankees thought they had a cakewalk in the first inning, and now all of a sudden they got a ball game on their hands. Here's Willie Randolph. 2-3, and he's going to pop it up to Presley. So Mike Moore, since that first inning, has really settled into a groove, and the Yankees don't have much against him so far. Here's Donnie Baseball, 2-3. He's going to line it hard, but right to Alvin Davis. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning, and next thing you know, the Mariners are back at bat. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 3-2. Niekro will be facing the bottom of the order. Valley, Quinones, and Reynolds. Oh, now Tabby is back. I heard a cry. Wanting something or other. Want me to help you up here? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I got you. I got you. I got you. There you go. There you go. There you go. You sit there. Sit there and rest. All right. No. Tabby, no. All right, you want to go up there? Going up there. What do you want to do? If we're going to have a delay, let's get it over with. Or you want? All right, good. You're going to sit there. Good. All right. She took one step up on the table, and I said, no. She's got her perch there, and that's all she needs. All right. So Niekro will be pitching to Dave Valley. Valley is first time up, grounded to short. 5-10, and that's a catcher X. Cerrone's a 3-E-0. Didn't even need the D10s. 3 is a 4, but nobody's on base, so it shouldn't be a problem. No danger of pass balls or anything like that. Let's see here. A 3 and a 4 for a catcher is a W/G, so that's just going to be a ground out, 2-3 ground out. And he will throw out the slow running Valley for one away. One down, and that brings up Ray Quinones. Happy Thursday morning to everybody, wherever you are and whatever you've got going on. 1-6 is a strikeout. That's only the second strikeout for Joe Niekro. And both times it's been Quinones. So he's rung him up twice, and now here's Harold Reynolds. 3-10, and that's a ground ball to second. Willie Randolph handles it. Much better inning for Niekro this time around. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the sixth. Still 3-2 Yankees. Clinging to that lead. Mike Moore's fatigue is a 7, but Niekro's is a 6. So Niekro will be in his fatigue inning at the bottom half. Mike Moore still got some juice. He's got a 7, so he's still good to go. Here's Danny Pasqua. 1-6, and he's going to strike out. Strikeout number 5 for Mike Moore. Brings up Mr. May, Dave Winfield. He is homered and fly to center. 1-4, and that's a pop out to third base where the hound dog Presley will handle it. 2 down. And that's going to take us to Gary Ward. A walk and a strikeout for Ward. 5-7, and that's a straight single to right field. So Gary Ward, a 2-out single. Not going to try to go anywhere, though. With Pagliarulo coming up, they're going to see if Pags can deposit one deep. Right now, he's 0-for-2. He's grounded to Harold Reynolds twice. That's a 2, so possible balk or pass ball. Looking at a possible balk, and his balk rating's a 3. but there is no balk, so we drive on. Pags 5-4. That's a ballpark single check, but it's only a 1-5. But the devil, I'm telling you, you don't believe me, but there it is right there. Number one again. I'm telling you, it's at least 15%. It's got to be 10 to 15% that it comes up. It sure as heck isn't 5%. I know that. That's documented. That's not conjecture or speculation. That's documented. And I don't care what color it is. It's white, blue, red, green. Doesn't matter. The one comes up way more than it should. Here's Cerrone, 5-10, and that's a fly center field X. So we're looking at Moses. He's at 2E5. Should be able to handle this. 2 and a 16 he does. E5 and a 6 should not be a problem. Double check it. E5, there is no 6, so it's a good play. Good play for John Moses. And that will take care of Cerrone and the Yankees. Go to the bottom of the 6, still 3-2. Three to two ball game. And this will be the fatigue inning for Joe Niekro. He's got a big 6 there on his card. And he'll be facing the top of the order, Moses, Bradley, and Kingery. One more sip of coffee before it starts getting cold. Moses is 0 for 2 on the evening or afternoon, whatever you want to call it. Jeff, that's going to be posted at 10 p.m. tonight. I played it. The game I played was Thursday, August 12th, so I wanted to post it on a Thursday night to match up with that because Thursday was referenced in the game. So I thought it'd be most realistic to post it on a Thursday night. It's all ready to go. I've got it up there waiting. So all I got to do is hit go. I may do it as a premiere just so people can comment. No, not last night. No, it is tonight, 10 o'clock. And I will do it as a premiere so people can comment. Part of me doesn't want to post it because I'm just not sure how well it's going to go across. But I figure I'd take some chances. Try to do something different. If you watch some of the older videos on my Strat-O-Matic journey, you will see that I have done some weird things. If you remember the old computer game, I guess it was for kids, called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? I kind of did one of those things with Strat. I actually recorded a couple of games of me playing Strat at a Little League field with kids playing ball in the background. Wind blowing, sunshine, kids in the background, just to be different and just to try something different. I mean, it wasn't the greatest production in the world, but it was something different. I like to try different things. So I don't want to just do the status quo all the time. I want to try to do different types of things. So, and Jeff, the offer still stands. If you want to co-op a game with me and do a color commentary, we can make that happen at some point. Maybe on a you're probably more familiar with the 87 players than you are the 2024 players. So we'd probably do that unless you want to do a 62 game. But I'm thinking you're probably a little bit more familiar with these players. Or maybe the 76. You might be more familiar with 76. I don't know. But we can make that work at some point. No rush, but we can work on it. Here's Moses, 4-7 switch hitter, and that's a 1 for a double. Anything else will be a single. So John Moses leads off, and he is the tying run on base, and he's a threat to steal. But he would get caught or picked off with an 11, but everything else he's pretty much going to get a lead, and Niekro's got the +5. That's very, very tempting. That's a 6, so yes, he gets the lead. He's a 15, being held as a 13, but then the +5 is an 18. So 1 to 18. Cerrone's T rating is only a 2, so there's not much risk in throwing down, so they'll go ahead and throw for it. But, of course, he will be safe. So Moses steals the bag. And the Mariners have the tying run in scoring position. For Moses, He stole 23 bases in real world. This was stolen base number 13 on the replay for him. So I have had him active all season, and he has been paying dividends with the stolen bases. That'll bring up Phil Bradley. 4-9, and that's a walk off of Niekro. Keep in mind, this is his fatigue inning, so one more base runner and he will reach fatigue. So the Yankee bullpen already starting to stir a bit. Left-hander Pat Clements is loosening in the Yankee bullpen. He was 3-3 with a .495 earned run average in relief, but he is loosening the bullpen in case Niekro runs into issues because the Mariners have some lefties coming up. So first and second, nobody out for Kingery. Would normally be a bunt situation, but he's a D bunter, so we're not going to bunt with him. 6-6 lefty struck him out. Niekro comes back with a strikeout, his third. And the first out of the inning. Now a double play gets him out of the inning. And here's Phelps. He homered his last time up. Is also a strikeout candidate. Not really a double play candidate, but he is a strikeout candidate. 2-9, and he's going to walk. So that's going to load the bases, and now Niekro is fatigued. He's going to face Presley. It's probably going to be his last batter with lefty Alvin Davis on deck. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring in Clements to face Davis. But right now, Niekro is tired, so we have to be aware of those dots. Have to be aware of the dots. Infield is back for the double play. 5-8, and as soon as we say look out for the dots, there you go. That would have been a strikeout, but it's a single 2 stars, and the Mariners have taken the lead, and that's going to be all for Joe Niekro. Lou Piniella is not happy. Probably thinks he should have taken him out after that walk, but he didn't do it. So when you get fatigue and you get a single, it's a single 2 stars by default. And runners are on the corners with only 1 out, and that's going to be it for Mr. Niekro. And Pat Clements will be coming on for the Yankees. But now Niekro can take the loss if the Yankees do not rally. So we'll get the numbers on Pat Clements. So we know that Niekro went 5 1/3, gave up 5 hits. Can't do the runs yet because these 2 are his responsibility. Let's see, he walked just 2, and they're both in the same inning, unfortunately for him, and he struck out 3. So Clements will be coming on to face Alvin Davis with runners at the corners and 1 away. We'll get the numbers on Clements for the replay. See how he's doing. For Clements, he is 0-1 with 3 saves, 4.15 earned run average, 22 innings pitched, 20 hits, 8 walks, 10 strikeouts. So 4.15 real world is 4.95, so he's actually doing better than his real world counterpart. But he's in a tough situation with runners on the corners and only 1 out. Infield is back for the double play. Presley, no threat to run. He is not being held. 5-5 is a fly ball center field, so Alvin Davis gets the job done on the sacrifice fly B, and that will bring home Phelps, and that run is charged to Niekro as well. But situational hitting for Alvin Davis brings home the run. It could be a key one. It's now 5-3 Mariners as they get as they get 3 runs this inning. They're not done yet. Dave Valley still gets to bat with Presley at first and 2 down. Valley 0 for 2. 6-7 against a right-hander is a single 2 stars, and that'll put runners on the corners. Mariners may not be done yet. And Milwaukee and Toronto are loving this result because they are trying to battle the Yankees for first place in the East. Mariners are buried in the cellar in the West, so not really going to hurt the Western teams, but it's certainly going to help the Eastern teams. Here's Ray Quinones. Valley not being held. 4-8, and that is a single to left field, so Clements can't get the job done. It's a base hit, and it's now a 4-score inning, Abraham Lincoln inning for Seattle. Let's see, it's 4-8 is a single to left, so that's going to hold Valley at second base. But another run is in, and it's now 6-3. Ninth man to bat in the inning is Harold Reynolds. To 6-10, switch hitter batting right. Ground ball third base X. We're looking at Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20 for Pags. 2-3. Devil Die strikes again. 2-3. See if he can get to that. He does, because nobody's being held on, so he does get to it. That's a 12, and he is an E20. E20. There is no 12, so Pags makes the play to end the inning. But a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning for Seattle. We can close the book on Niekro now. All these runs are charged to him, so he is charged with all 6 runs, and they are all earned. So that's going to put a dent on that ERA that he was doing so well with coming into this game. And now Mike Moore has been given a reprieve, of course. He's got a 3-run lead to work with. Gave up 3 runs in the first and has settled in since. And now he's reaping the fruits of his labors of being steadfast and not giving up. And we start the top of the 7th. It'll be Wayne Tollison. Of course, we are allowed to use pinch hitters now since we're in the 7th inning. Tollison is 1 for 2. He hit 221 real world. So the Yankees might be looking to get something started with some of their bench players. On the bench, they have Ricky Henderson, Ron Kittle, Henry Cotto, Joel Skinner, and Len Cicada. So all the pinch hitters are right-handed if they want to go that route. But to me, they're going to pinch hit for Tollison. Len Cicada would come in and play short. And Ricky Henderson is going to lead off. I mean, who else would you want to lead off an inning but Ricky Henderson? So he will come in and pinch hit for Tollison to try to get something started and kickstart this offense. Ricky Henderson. So he will pinch hit in the 7th. And Cicada will play shortstop in the 7th. All right, so Ricky Henderson to pinch hit against Mike Moore. And this is the fatigue inning for Moore, so we'll keep an eye on him as well. See if he starts giving up anything. On the replay, Ricky Henderson checks in. Hitting .313, 5 homers, 17 driven in. He hit .291 real world. 3-6 for Ricky, and that's a leadoff walk. That's something Ricky does a lot, is walk. In 1987, he walked 80 times in just 358 at-bats to go with it. So he will be on, and of course, he's going to be looking to get a lead. He needs a 6 or a 7 to obtain said lead. It's a 2. It's going to possibly cause Mike Moore to balk. His balk rating's a 3. There's no balk, and that means Ricky can't get the lead now. So Ricky will just stand pat. He does run at a 17, so they will obviously hold him on. But he runs well. So he will score almost any extra base hit. Here's Claudell Washington, 0 for 3. 6'5", left-handed, split chance, and that's going to be a line out to second base where Reynolds will haul it in. 1 away. And that's going to send up Willie Randolph. If Randolph can reach, they bring up Mattingly with the tying run. He'd be the tying run at the plate if he could reach. 3-7, and he does. Willie Randolph will walk. And now the tying run in the form of Don Mattingly is at the plate, and Mike Moore is 1 batter away from being fatigued. And now the Seattle bullpen has to get up and moving. And they have eastbound and down Jerry Reed. He is going to be in the Seattle bullpen just in case Mike Moore runs into issues. So Mattingly, 2 on, 1 out. Top of the 7th, Seattle leads 6-3, but Mattingly with 1 long one could tie the ball game. It's 2-8, but he's going to ground to first for a double play. Talk about anticlimactic. That's going to be a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. How do you like that? 3-6-3 double play ends the inning. Mike Moore keeps a little bit of endurance with him. And we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score still Seattle 6 and the Yankees 3. A little bit of a letdown there. The Yankees thought they had something going. So now at shortstop, we'll enter Len Sakata as the shortstop. So Sakata will be in at short, and he will bat in the 9th position, formerly held by Tollison. So this is now Sakata. And Sakata, let's get his ratings. Actually, he can't play short. He's not rated for short. Hold the phone. Do I not have another shortstop on the roster? There's got to be a shortstop on the roster somewhere, right? But there isn't. That's the problem. Well, okay, I thought he was rated to play short there for a second, and he's not. So I'm going to have to give him the worst rating there is. So he'll be a 5 and an E whatever, because he's going to be playing out of position, because he's listed at 3rd and 2nd. He's played short in the past. I know that, for the Orioles and whatnot. So I don't know why he's not playing short here. I don't know why the Mariners would not have, or the Yankees would not have a second shortstop on the team. That seems really weird that Tollison would be the only guy rated to play shortstop. I'm imagining if they had to do it, though, they would use Len Sakata. That would be the logical choice. So we're just going to have to go with it. Try to keep it realistic. So we'll put him at short and see what happens. So it'll be Moses, Bradley, and Kingery switch right and left. So the Yankees will stick with Pat Clemens here in the bottom of the 7th. Seattle sent 9 to the plate last time, and 4 of them scored. 5 E88. That sounds good to me, man. Coffee's still a little bit warm, so no need for a 7th inning stretch break to warm my coffee. I can just go with it, so we'll keep driving on. Here's Moses, 3-8. Clemens to Moses, 3-8, left-handed, ground ball to and look at that. I'm telling you, when you bring in a defensive replacement, the ball will find you. It always does. And look what the D20 was. Again, another 1. I rest my case. But when you bring in a new player, the ball will find you. Ground ball, shortstop, A. Unbelievable how that works out. At least it wasn't an X check. That's the big thing. So Sakata makes the play. 1 down for Phil Bradley. Bart, nobody's rated at shortstop in the lineup or anywhere on this roster. Nobody else is rated at shortstop. 5-7, right-handed hitter. 5-7 is going to be a walk. So Bradley will draw the base on balls, his second walk. You look at the Yankee lineup. Dan Pasqua an outfielder. Winfield is an outfielder. Wards can play first base and outfield. Pagliarulo 3rd and 1st. Cerrone catcher in 1st. Sakata, we already looked at him. Washington, the outfielder. Randolph only at 2nd. Mattingly only at 1st. And if you look at the bench, Ron Kittle's only an outfielder. Henry Cotto's only an outfielder. Joel Skinner only a catcher. And we've already used Ricky Henderson. And Tollison's out of the game. So, no, they don't have anybody else that can play shortstop. So we're just going to have to go with it. All right, so Phil Bradley looking to get the lead. Clemens is a -3, though, so that's going to help. Makes him a -4. That's a big difference to the +5, but he's still going to try for the lead. Almost always try for the lead. I just like to make sure the stolen bases are accounted for. Nope, not going to get the lead, so it doesn't matter. Here's Kingery. Zuvella's not on the roster, Andrew. He's not on the roster. He's down in Columbus, I guess. At least that's what Strat-O-Matic is telling me. He's saying he's not on the roster. 1-7 is a strikeout. Out number 2 as he strikes out Kingery. Hello, Colin. 2 down for Ken Phelps, lefty on lefty matchup. Hopefully we don't get a ground ball shortstop X. That's the hope. 2-2, and that's well, he didn't get a ground ball shortstop X, but he sure did get a home run. Look at that. Look at his column 2 against lefties. Home run, home run, home run. 2-2. Ken Phelps, his second home run of the game. It's a no-doubter. I'm bringing it up close and personal. It's a no-doubter. 2-2 against left-handed pitching. And it is, as Mr. Goodman would say, clean as a baby's behind. There's a little glare on there, but I think you get the gist. 2-2. Home run in 2-2, 2-3, and 2-4 for Mr. Phelps. It's a 2-run shot. His second home run of the game is 8th of the season. And we already know who the player of the game is going to be, apparently. It is now 8-3, 8 unanswered runs by Seattle. And Phelps, that's home run number 8, RBIs 21 and 22 on the replay. And they're going to go ahead and try to let him finish out the 7th inning. 3-7 against the lefty is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. But 2 more come across for Seattle, and they lead it 8-3. And Mike Moore is going to come back out and see if he can go another inning. He's got a commanding lead, so why not? That's all for Pat Clemens. He's done. We'll get the numbers on Clemens from the courtesy of the Strat-O-Matic computer. So his day is done in inning and 2/3. He's going to give up 3 hits and 2 runs, courtesy of the 2-run home run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So he made 1 big mistake pitch to Phelps, and he paid for it. So it will be Dan Pasqua taking on Mike Moore. Top of the 8th. 6'9", left-handed, 1 to 8 to triple, 9 to 20 is a double. And look at, guess what number came up again on the D20? I gave you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. Unbelievable. So that will be a triple for Pasqua. He had 1 triple on the season, and he has not had one on the replay yet, so we're going to let this be his triple. Triple for Pasqua to lead off the inning. And now here comes Mr. May, Dave Winfield. Infield is back for the Mariners. That run really doesn't mean a whole lot. They need outs. 2-8 for Winfield, and he will get a single to center field. So talk about Winfield all you want, but he's got 3 of the 4 runs batted in for the Yankees as he strokes the single. And now Mike Moore is officially tired. Jerry Reed is ready in the bullpen. I think they're going to give Moore 1 more chance. 6-4, and that's a line out to third base. Lines it right to Presley. That is out number 1. And that will send up Mike Pagliarulo. 8-4 now is our score. Top of the 8th. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a pass ball on Valley. He's a 2. No pass ball. So here's Pags. 4-5, left-handed, fly to left field, 2 down. They will try to get Mike Moore through 8 innings and then let somebody mop up. They might not be Jerry Reed because he's more of a long relief pitcher. They'll probably bring in somebody else that's more of a mop-up guy. So Jerry Reed has sat down, and they will go to somebody else. Here's Rick Cerrone with 2 outs and the bases. Well, Winfield's on first. Almost forgot about him. He's easily forgettable. 2-3, and that's going to be a 1 for a triple. Anything else will be a double. That's a double. Winfield was being held. He runs at a 16, makes him a 15, but 2 outs makes him a 17. The double is assumed to go to center. So center field, Washington's a -1 arm. That's a 16. 1 to 16, they will send him, and they will throw through. And he's in there. So good thing he made it safe. If Winfield got thrown out the plate, that would have been something. But that's going to do it for Mike Moore. They won't go any further with him. He's going to exit. And actually, Jerry Reed will come in now. He's the only one that was warmed up, so he's going to come in. Jerry Reed. He's got to face Sakata. Sakata has to bat because got nobody else to play short. Well, he's not even a shortstop, but I mean, they got no other infielders on the roster, so they're going to have to go that route. Get the numbers on Mike Moore when the inning is over because he's still responsible for the runner on second base. So let's bring in Mr. Reed and get his replay totals. See how he's doing on this 87 replay. There he is right there. Whoa, don't want to put him up. Slid him to the wrong spot. Let's not put him at shortstop. Let's see here. Come on, Mr. Reed. There you are. Okay, he's 2-2 with 2 saves and a .579 earned run average. 23 innings pitched, 28 hits, 6 walks, and 15 strikeouts. All right, Reed to Sakata. Whoa, that red die didn't go through. Let's redo that. My rule is all the dice have to go through at one time and stay in there. 3-7 for Sakata is a ground ball to short, and that will end the inning. So the Yankees pick up 2 here in the top of the 8th. And Reed will, of course, pitch the 9th to try to close it out. And we go to the 9th inning, or the bottom of the 8th inning, rather. With the score now 8-5. And we'll check on Mike Moore and get his game totals. He is set to be the winner, assuming the bullpen does not blow it. He would improve to 3-4 with the win. He went 7 2/3, 9 hits and 5 runs. So it kind of turned into a mediocre outing there with those last 2 runs. And 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So now the Yankees will need a pitcher to pitch the 9th inning just to try to mop things up here and not let things get out of hand. Due up for the Mariners, it's going to be Davis, Valley, and Quinones. So they're going to go to Tim Stoddard out of the bullpen. He will pitch the 9th. And we'll get the numbers on Stoddard. Stoddard, there you are. On the replay, Stoddard is 2-3, no saves, a 4.74 earned run average. 25 innings pitched, 31 hits, 8 walks, and 26 strikeouts. So, leading off for the Mariners will be Alvin Davis. We get a 6-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. And here we go, 4 E88, or 5 E88 for Len Sakata. 5 and a 16. I wonder if he can get to that. 5 and a 16. Can you get to that? Yes, he did. But now you got the error problem. E88, but actually E88 doesn't come up. There's not that much there for E88, so Len Sakata will make the play. 9, 11, 12, 16, and 14 are your errors, and that's an 8, so Len Sakata is actually going to make the play. You will retire Alvin Davis for 1 away. I mean, Len Sakata, let's face it, to be realistic, he would not be inept out there. He has had many, many games where he has played shortstop in his career, so it's not like he forgot how to play it. If you're playing third, you can play short. That's just a matter of range. Here's Valley, 4-7 against Stoddard. That's a 1-3 single. 14 means he lines it right to Sakata. And now Sakata's getting all kinds of action out there at shortstop. And that'll send up Quinones. 3-5, and that's going to be a 1-7 home run for Quinones, but that's an 11, so it's just a deep fly to left, and that will end the inning. And we go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Yankees. They'll have to do it against Jerry Reed. And Reed will be facing top of the order, Claudell Washington, Randolph, and Mattingly. 8-5 ball game. This is a save situation for Reed, so he could pick up a save. Hello, Scott. Good to see you. He could pick up a save here. You never know. Claudel is 0 for 4, though. Had a rough game. 5-8, and he's going to be 0 for 5, a strikeout for Jerry Reed. Reed put that fastball eastbound and down, and Washington couldn't get it. Here's Willie Randolph. 6-6 against Jerry Reed. Struck him out. Another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Reed. And Mariners 1 out away from surprising the Yankees and bringing them down a notch. It's Donnie Baseball. Last chance. It's a 3-8 for Donnie Baseball, and that's a ground ball to short, and that's going to do it. Quinones will make the play, and the ball game is over. Seattle takes out the Yankees 8-5. Stoddard goes 1 inning, doesn't give up anything in relief. Jerry Reed goes an inning and a third, and he gives up nothing. He retired all 4 he faced with 2 strikeouts. Can't do much better than that. So let's go to the Strat computer, get the final box score and all the final numbers. And let's put a bow on this thing. All right, so Mike Moore improves to 3 and 4. He is the winner. Jerry Reed picks up his 3rd save of the replay. Niekro, the loser, drops to 2 and 1. Takes his first loss. 8 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Mariners. 5 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. Yankees left 7 on base. The Mariners only left 3. So the Mariners cashed in when they needed, and the Yankees did not. Player of the game, obviously Ken Phelps. He hit 2 home runs, his 7th and his 8th of the season. And he now checks in with a total of 22 runs batted in. Also home runs in the game by the hound dog Jim Presley. He hit his 7th. And then for the Yankees, Mr. May, Dave Winfield, back in the 1st inning, hit his 6th. So with this game, the Yankees dropped to 23 and 14. Seattle improves to 14 and 23. And let's see what it does to the standings in the American League East. The Yankees now drop 2 full games behind the Brewers, who are 23 and 10. So they got 4 games on them on the loss column. And Toronto is 23 and 11, so Toronto's a game and a half ahead of the Yankees. In real world, Yankees at this point were 24 and 13. Right now they're 23 and 14, so they're pretty much right where they should be. Mariners are underperforming even with the win to make them 14 and 23. They were 20 and 17 real world after 37 games. In the 87 season. So they're kind of underperforming there, to say the least. So, all right, I do appreciate everybody spending part of your Thursday morning with me, doing some 87 Strat-O-Matic. It's been a while since I've gotten back to this replay, but I don't want people to think I've forgotten about it. But I am giving more of a priority to the Demolition League 2024. Tonight at 10 o'clock, it'll be my first attempt at a play-by-play radio broadcast style, no video, radio broadcast of the game played August the 12th, 1976. It was a Thursday night in California. The Boston Red Sox and the California Angels. Louis Tiant against Nolan Ryan. And the mood I'm going for and the attempt I'm going for is to transport people back to 1976, specifically to transport East Coast people back. I know it's an East Coast bias. East Coast people back to when they were kids, listening to the game on the radio from the West Coast late at night, whether your parents knew about it or not. You might have a little transistor that you hid in bed or something. So that's kind of the flavor I'm going for. And I do have, I'm not tech savvy at all. I did find a way to bring in some radio ads from 1976 to play between innings. So hopefully that will help you get in the mood for 76. And like I said, hopefully it's a 2-hour. I will tell you ahead of time, it's a 2-hour and 19-minute event. If you listen to the whole thing, it's going to last 2 hours and 19 minutes because it takes a while to do pitch by pitch, plus try to put commentary in the beginning and commentary between pitches and factoids and all these other little things. So, yeah, it pretty much, I don't know if the game itself took that long. I'm sure it took longer. In fact, I could probably look it up real quick and see what the official game time was on that particular game. Boston won that game real world in extra innings. Both pitchers went the distance. I will give you a spoiler now and tell you that both pitchers did not go the distance in the replay game. You will see bullpen activity. Let's see here. Let me look and see what the game time was. Because back in the 70s, they traditionally played games pretty quick. But this one going extra innings, it may have went a little bit longer. Let's see here. Where'd they go? I'm on August 19th. Why am I on August 19th? I need to be August 12th. Get my dates mixed up. August 12th, 76. That's why I couldn't find the game. August the 12th. All right. Game went 2 hours and 32 minutes in real world. So we almost matched that with 2 hours and 19 minutes of radio broadcast. So the only thing you're going to see, and that's why I changed, if you look at my little name on my little logo or whatever, my picture that comes up, I changed it to Anaheim Stadium so that when you watch when you turn on the broadcast, you'll see a picture of Anaheim Stadium, not a picture of my little channel logo. I'll change it back after the game is over, but that's what you'll see. It's just a black screen with a little circle that's going to have Anaheim Stadium in it. That's when you do these kind of things, that's the only way to do it. It puts up whatever your channel is. I can put a what do you call it, a thumbnail up before it starts, but once the game starts, it's going to revert back to the little black screen with the little circle in it with the stadium. I do have Nolan Ryan as my thumbnail, so if you see Nolan Ryan coming up at 10 o'clock tonight, you will know what's going on. So, like I said, I don't know how it's going to play out. It might totally bomb. It might be the worst decision I ever made to try to do something like that, but I always like to try to do something different and take chances and see what's the worst that can happen. Is it's terrible, and if it's that bad, I'll just delete it. But it was just something I wanted to try to do, and I figured if I try to play Strat and do it, it wouldn't work well because you got the sound of the dice and all that stuff, so you wouldn't get the feel you were in a radio. I want the feel that you're listening to the radio. I don't want you to have the feel that you're listening to a game being played on Strat-O-Matic or whatever. I want you to feel like I'm actually at the ballpark and there's actually a game going on and whatnot. So whether I succeed at that or not, I have no idea. You can be the judge of that, but that'll be 10 o'clock tonight. And if you can't stay up that late, you can always check it on the rebound, I guess you call it. I may do it at 9:30. I might bump. Actually, I think I'm going to bump it up to 9:30 because that's close enough to being late at night. No sense going extreme. So I think it's going to be 9:30 tonight. I think I'll set it up for a 9:30 premiere, and then see what happens from there. So obviously, if I'm doing that tonight, I won't have another game on video the rest of the day because I don't want to infringe on other people that are trying to do streams like Spokane Steve and RJL and people like that. So this was my one live stream for the day. Now tomorrow we'll be back with the Demolition League and see what happens there, and maybe take the fall out of this radio broadcast and see how. I'll be curious to see what kind of comments I get, positive or negative or whatever. But hey, I'm not a professional. I will say right up front, my limited tech. You have to do these things on your phone. You can't do them on the webcam or anything else. It has to be done through the smartphone. It's the only way you can do the particular way to do that with the black screen and whatnot. So kind of limited there. So I had to use, and I had to put my phone on do not disturb, because if I'm trying to do this thing and a phone call comes in, it'll kick me out. I did it once before already. So I had to put my phone on do not disturb. And for whatever reason, when I put my phone in do not disturb, the sound on my laptop was voided. So I tried to put some ambiance to play in the background, but it never came on. The volume never went on to that. And I think it's because my phone was in that mode. But I did use because I actually recorded the game in bed, sitting up in bed, recorded the game, played the game on my laptop, recorded it into the phone, and I had my TV was playing the background stuff that I needed. So, like I said, it's not exactly what you would call a top-notch production, but my first time trying it and it's the first time ever trying to announce a game off of a computer game that's going pitch by pitch, because you never know how fast that's going to go or the type's going to go. So sometimes I had to wait for the result. Sometimes I hit the result, let it happen, pause a second, and then announced what happened, just to try to get the timing done. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, I like trying new stuff and see what happens. Anyway, all right, so that's going to do it from here. So that will be Jeffrey. That will be at 9. I'm going to bump it up to 9:30 instead of 10 o'clock. I don't want to do it at 9 because that's going to be too early, I think. So we'll do it at 9:30. We'll do it at 9:30. Or I mean, just keep an eye out for it. I might do it at 9. I don't guess 9 would be that bad. Well, I think we'll do it at 9 just to give people a chance, that because it is a work night for a lot of people, and I don't want, if people don't want to stay up, go to bed, have to get up early next morning or whatever, or traditionally go to bed early. I don't want to, but maybe you can fall asleep to it. Maybe that's a good idea too. Maybe it's something you can fall asleep to. I have no idea. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I did listen to portions of it. Like I said, the YouTube cut me off at 2 hours and 13 minutes. For some reason, the thing just stopped recording. So I had to record the last 6 minutes on a separate video and go into a video editor thing, put the two together and load it back into YouTube, which I've done. I took most of yesterday to figure out how to do that. So it is ready to go. But I don't know how you are, Jeff, but it's very, or Tim or whoever's listening, it's very awkward to hear myself doing anything, speaking, anything, whether it's announcing a game or talking at a job or whatever. It's just very awkward, I guess is the best word I can come up with for hearing myself. So I didn't want to listen to it too long because I just don't like to hear myself. So, but we'll see how it goes. I think I will make the command decision to put it up at 9 o'clock as the premiere. So I'll probably go set that up right now. Set it up as a 9 o'clock premiere. In fact, let me do that right now while I'm thinking about it. That way you can have it come up on your feed and see if it comes up on your feed. So let's do schedule, set as premiere, and this will be at 9 p.m. Okay, so I just saved it as a 9 o'clock premiere. So I think if you go to my homepage, it'll be there, or if you get update, or if you get notifications or whatever, it should be there. But it is set up now as a 9 o'clock p.m. Premiere, and that way you will know when it comes up. So again, thank you all for spending part of your Thursday morning with me. I'm going to probably play a few more of these games offline on the 87 replay just to get this replay going again. We're at game 244, next game 245, and the next game on the replay, according to my schedule here, is Cleveland at Detroit. So that could be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Of course, those will all be played offline, and then when I come back and play the May 18th dates and pick that game, I will give an update on what happened the rest of the way. Steve Carlton against Walt Terrell. That's the pitching matchup in the Cleveland-Detroit game. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great Thursday, whatever you have planned. Hope the weather's nice where you are. Be sure to check out Spokane Steve around 4:30 Eastern today. I don't know if Jeff wants to play a game later this morning or not, but I know Spokane Steve will be there at 4:30, like clockwork, to do his 1966 replay in Strat-O-Matic. And he's one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business, at broadcasting Strat-O-Matic games, because his setup is just, score sheet's so clean, his setup is clean. Just a laid back dude that knows his onions, as they say. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. Yankees lose 8-5.